welcome back to the VET S.O.S podcast. You messed me up, Keith. I don't think I saw you dancing earlier. I don't know if you were, but down there cutting a rug on me. I looked down and it just threw me completely off. And welcome back to the VET S.O.S podcast, brought to you by the Who You Know Network. We're a proud member of the Parade Deck community. Remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S lifeline. So we're here with a fascinating organization that is really, in my opinion, a great option for transitioning service members. I can't wait to get into this discussion, Keith. We got Angel and Blake with us from the Ding King Training Institute.
Hey guys,
it's fantastic stuff that we discussed earlier, so I can't wait to get into this. Keith's joining us again today. Eric is out on a mission. So Keith, how's it going, man? How you doing?
Gotta get the brand at it. But yeah, no, I'm doing great, Sean, and I appreciate you letting me throw my brand logo up there real quick. But yeah, no, it's an honor to be here as always, and so humbling. And again, sorry Eric couldn't be here, but his loss is my gain, and this is an amazing program, and I'm just so happy to be able to help support it.
Outstanding. We're glad to have you, man. Been an alumni of the show, two-time alumni of the show, and just your heart being in the right place, wanting to help veterans and transitioning service members, man. Love having you out here helping us. All right, so we're going to jump right into the intro here. So we got Blake. He's the VP at the Ding King Training Institute, passionate about empowering others. He graduated from the University of Colorado Boulder in communication and entrepreneurship. Inspired by his father's legacy, Blake collaborated with him to expand the Ding King's reach. Dedicated to guiding students in automotive reconditioning, Blake continues to prioritize family and friends, enjoying sports and quality time. His mission is to help individuals find their path and uplift their families. Angel has a military and law enforcement background, including 4 years as an Air Force firefighter and 6 years as a 911 dispatcher. Angel pursued a business degree while juggling real-life challenges. Now with a passion for automobiles and helping his fellow veterans, he's found his calling at the Ding King Training Institute. Having personally attended numerous high-quality training courses, he's committed to raising awareness for the pathway that support veteran-owned businesses. That's a lot, gentlemen. The beauty of it is you and I, or the three of us, have had a conversation. I know where your hearts are, and I know what you guys are trying to do. And man, I love this. I can't wait to get into it. But first, how are you guys doing today?
doing well, brother.
Fantastic.
Doing real good.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an honor to be on this podcast with you guys. Really appreciate you guys taking the time, and really excited to get into this with you guys today. And just thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Sean. Thank you, and Keith. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it, guys, and looking forward to an awesome podcast.
Outstanding, and thank you for coming on. So we're going to start with Angel. Angel, you're a service member here, so I'd like to hear a little bit about your transition story. How did that go for you?
Yeah, definitely. So my transition was kind of smooth at the beginning, but I just saw your podcast with Jordana, and what I got from her is that she talked to a person that felt like he was transitioning 10 years later. And I think that that's a very similar circumstance that a lot of our brothers and sisters face. A lot of us, we don't really talk about things, or we don't really cry about things, but we just do with what we got. And so I was doing that for a little bit. I actually transitioned into the police department as a 911 dispatcher fairly well. That worked out well because it was similar, right? It was a paramilitary organization. It worked out well. I got burnt out a little bit, and I went to go get my business degree from Cal State Fullerton. I thought I could make more money with a degree. Little did I know that life had other plans for me. COVID happened, and that kind of dried up all of my opportunities. So I had to sit back. I have an 8-year-old daughter that now she's 8, but that's the world. That's my whole life. I mean, if you see the background, you see all of her good little projects and stuff. Everything is for her. I mean, I pay the mortgage, but she tells me what to do. So, doing that and seeing that my daughter was the most important thing in my life, I said, okay, what can I do? I haven't found a lot of success with a lot of businesses that work with you. I mean, I feel for women now that they take care of their kids because I'm in the same position. So now I have that experience. So I had to figure something out. I actually was like, I want to own a business. I've always wanted to own a business. So I started researching. I leveraged my VR&E benefits and I went to the Dean King and I actually took all of the courses that they offer, all 10 of them. Well, I took 10 of them. So it's pretty awesome. I got all of these certifications to open up a business. I started doing that, but then I wanted to help support service members and give them a good pathway. So that's when I talked to Blake and we kind of came to a conclusion that it would be great if we could work together. We do great work together. I work with him well. He works with me well. And, that's how that kind of started. So that's kind of a little segue to that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Definitely.
I love the fact that your transition was so impacted by your daughter. I mean, and I know for me, part of that transition was realizing how much I owe my family, and how much I owe them back, and almost like a debt I have to repay, right? And not that they look at it as a debt, but I think we get that feeling that, well, we put so much in the military, we got to, give back to the family. So I love hearing that, man. Um, Blake, you are the VP at the Ding King Training Institute, right?
Most definitely, yes.
This was inspired by your father's legacy. So tell us a little bit about that legacy. What led you
Yeah.
to this, and then why you guys are focusing on a piece on trying to help the veteran community as well.
Most definitely. Well, first and foremost, I mean, the number one thing that resonated the most with Angel and our business was family. We're family owned and operated, and family's everything to us. And family isn't just blood related; it's anyone that steps into the Ding King realm, and that is thousands of students that have graduated. And we're so proud to be able to offer the really the high level skilled trades that we teach so that individuals can go out and whether it's starting their own business or working for a reputable shop, whatever the case might be, but providing those high level skilled trades are very important to us, and we feel like we've done a good job at that so far over the past 30 years. But a little background: my father is a special man, and 30 years ago he actually started a retail business and teaching people how to essentially, learn how to do paintless dent repair. And they had about 100 vans, actually a little more than 100 vans across Southern California, repairing vehicles. And, the retail business is a quite large operational side of a business. And he loved helping people. And he realized that his passion really aligned with more of a school. And there was nothing really out there that was legitimate that taught how to do this. And he had a vision for something much larger than just paintless dent repair, which is really the art of massaging metal out of a vehicle and using specialized tools to find access points to make it look like it was never there, which is a really cool art that we felt long term aligns so well with skills that veterans possessed out of the military, which was being meticulous, highly driven, patience, and determination. And really, you got to have those skills to be able to, and Angel can speak more about that after this, but have those skills to be able to be successful in this. And so that kind of transitioned, over the years, we had, a lot of veterans come through our programs, and we saw the benefits it was providing, obviously. And so that's when, our school applied to accept for military benefits, and we got approved because we're the only state licensed school and institution to do what we do. And as we started to grow, and I started to, come on after college and really help my father grow this vision he had. That's where it started with Angel. And I said, man, I would love to work with Angel and help spread awareness about our programs because, people just don't know what we do and they don't know the benefits it could provide to their families. And that's the biggest thing, as I said, is family to us. And, seeing the effects, the positive effects, obviously it had on veterans being able to empower them to have their own businesses. Because when you come to the Dent King, you're not just learning a trade. You're learning how to start a business, get the LLC, your website, set up the Instagram and Facebook. There's so many, get Google reviews, how to, deliver the right quality to your customers, pricing, everything. We go through a class like no other where, Todd, my father, who is really, as I said, he has so much experience in the retail side of things, that he sits down with our students one-on-one to provide any help he can. And it's not just when our students are at the Dent King, it's afterwards. It's continuing that. It's the follow-up after to make sure that they're successful. And that's the biggest key to us. And, whether success, and, obviously everyone has their own definition of success, but really being able to provide for your family and feel comfortable and have that security and be able to help others is really my version of success personally. And, so I feel like that's aligns with a lot of people that come to our trade school. I would say almost everyone. And, that's kind of the whole realm and how this all came together. And, yeah.
Love it. And just the family piece alone speaks volumes to me, and I know it does with a lot of veterans. But I got to admit, Keith, he kind of lost me there when he started talking about tools and stuff like that. I'm not one of those guys.
I know you're an Intel guy.
He was talking calculus to me over here.
I know, right? Yeah, no, it's a lot of lingo, but no, I love the idea because so many service members, especially, like, we long for that sense of belonging when we get out, and the Dent King has that family atmosphere, that connection, that tribal vibe to it is amazing. Just out of curiosity, like how long is the training? Like, what can people kind of expect timeline wise?
Yeah, great question, Keith. Our training programs are approved for anywhere between 5 and 12 weeks. So it's rather quick. And what's really amazing is not just the ability to walk out and start a business day one, but also job opportunities. We have put ourselves in a position to create partnerships with specific companies to provide jobs day one out of training. So for individuals that, want to come through a 5-week training program, literally day one, they have a job guaranteed, which is something that's we feel extremely blessed to be able to offer. And we've worked really hard on creating those partnerships for our veterans, for someone that is in a less fortunate situation, whatever the case might be. We're here to provide that, and really a career that you can grow within, because I think that's the biggest thing as well. Angel and I were talking about this the other day. Like, it's one thing to get a job after going to school, but it's another to feel like you're a part of something that you can grow within for the long term and feel appreciated and be well paid and fairly paid. And Sean, off your point about, I lost you on the tools and all that. One thing, Keith, that I wanted to mention was, paintless dent repair is a specific art that people really aren't too aware of, but something that obviously everyone understands is like auto detail, and providing those classes, and providing classes like window tinting, paint protection film. We're the one-stop shop for people to come and learn everything that they need, so that when they're, doing a dent on someone's vehicle, they can say, ma'am, I've noticed that, your car's dirty. May I give you a detail? Or, I see that you scuffed that wheel, running over a curb, which I've done countless times. And I can fix that for you. And so it's really opening the ticket and, providing many services that, you can grow a business upon. And the amount of veterans that we've helped over the years, start their own businesses, it's great. It's really rewarding, and it's special. So, we love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And,
So
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to add to that. Sorry, Keith. No, yeah, I've taken those classes myself, and they're awesome. I mean, for somebody like like me, I was a firefighter. I'm a little bit mechanically inclined, but I'm probably not as awesome as Keith. But it came to me naturally, and everybody that goes in there that's a vet, they just love it, right? I mean, whether it be, it doesn't have to be a ugly looking vet like me, bald headed vet like me, right? I mean, we've had women in there, women veterans that, guess what? They beat other guys in dent-offs, right? So I mean, it's not about being the guy or the this. It's about learning it, and the Dean King does a great thing, and it does the right way of training you and to get you the best results.
That's awesome. And
Thank you.
I love
Appreciate
that tie-in too of just even that competition piece, right? And just that camaraderie. It's so awesome. At the end of the day, and that's a great example. So at the end of the day, right, the proof is in the pudding. So for our folks listening that might be like, oh, this sounds really like, so what are some like actual like specifics examples of some folks that have successfully transitioned using the training through Dean King?
It's a great question, Keith. Specific examples that I know that they're good for me to use their names. A perfect example is Will May, family man, Marine, was based in Camp Pendleton. He came through our training programs in California. Will was there for, I want to say he was there for a little over 5 weeks. And he learned a lot of different services. I actually just did a mini podcast with him recently talking about his success and his business and bringing it back home. And he started his own business in Illinois, and he's doing quite well out of the gates. And, he's gotten to a point where he's now, just to give you an example, he's 3 months out of training and he's booked out every day. And one of the best parts of his business that he was talking about is like he can take off anytime he can to be with his family, teach his kids, bring them into the business. Will's a gentleman who doesn't live in a metropolitan area, lives in a small town in Illinois on his farm, loves his land. And that's one example. Braxton Parker, served in the Navy, and man, this guy is something special. He he is, I would say one of the most successful students to ever come through Dean King, and he owns a hail repair business in Texas. And for any listeners that are, they hear the word hail, obviously you want to hide. Well, for our technicians, hail is money falling from the sky. And that's really how we describe it. Being anywhere in the mid part of the country, from Colorado, Texas, Missouri, Illinois. I mean, if you live there, you know what it's like being hit and having your car get drained by hail. And what do you got to do? You got to talk to your insurance company. You got to get a quote. And our paintless dent repair specialists, specifically, for example, Braxton Parker, he started his business. It's called Total Hail Solutions. Phenomenal business out in Dallas. They've now, moved out into the eastern part of Texas as well. And he's continuing to grow. And he is employing other veterans that have come through our training programs who we've referred to him. And they're now working with him as well. So it's really cool to see. I mean, Stu Reynolds, Air Force, Stu is, in his 60s. He was doing very well after training up in Montana. And, we loved Stu day one. And we realized, Stu he was an instructor in the Air Force. And we realized he'd be such a great instructor for Dean King. So we actually hired Stu to come back and work with us. And Stu works kind of an off and on schedule because he has his business and his life in Montana, but he comes out to our other locations, specifically in California, and comes help as well. So those are just a few examples, but it's pretty special.
That's awesome. So you alluded to locations. How many locations are we talking about? Where are you guys located at?
We are all over the United States, strategically located in South Carolina. We are over in Missouri, Springfield. We are over in Dallas, Texas, Denver, Colorado, and then over in our headquarters in California. So we're really all over the map. We'd love to move up into the New York area to provide that for the potential students that are interested up there. But we've been growing, and my father Todd's done an amazing job, along with my mom, who is also involved with the business. My brother, who's involved with the business in growing this, and we're really proud of what we've done so far. But we're just getting started. And as I said, Angel, coming on board and helping us, spread awareness and about our programs to be able to help others is something that has been really key. And obviously, it created this relationship with you, Sean, and being on this podcast now is something that is great as well, to be able to share this with our fellow veterans and people who might be looking for an avenue to whether create their own business or get a job day one out of training. And yeah.
I want to throw it over to you, Angel. As the veteran education rep, so for the Ding King, what kind of ideas are you working on? Like, how are you trying to spread the word on this? I mean, obviously you and I connected and we talked about it, but what other things are you trying to work on here to help get the word out for the Ding King?
Yeah, so I've been connecting with a bunch of people on LinkedIn. What I have been getting is that a lot of nonprofits I'm going to have to work with a lot of nonprofits because veterans, that's a first stop. There's a lot of local community, like county nonprofits where veterans, that's going to be their first stop. So we're close to the Goodwill in Santa Ana. So we're close in location. So I'm trying to get into there, and I've already reached out, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to reach out to the person there, the contact, so then we can go ahead and get a pipeline, or at least be an option for veterans that want to do that.
Outstanding. That's great to continue to spread the word. And there's so many organizations that are going to be willing to work with you. And I mean, Keith, we talk to people all the time, right? That are looking for opportunities and what have you.
Go ahead. I keep on cutting you off, Keith. I'm sorry. So
no, this is your show.
So no, what I was saying is that we also a little lag, but we also did a career fair with U.S. vets at March Air Base. So that was a very big success. We have another event going on with them, and it was awesome. We met a bunch of vets. It was great. We actually were able to sign up one Marine veteran, and his name is Tate. And so he's really excited. I'm excited. He's going to start after he goes. It's his first semester at college at Irvine Valley College, but he's super excited to start after, and he's going to be starting June or something like that. So it's really exciting.
That's incredible. And I love, just there's so many resources out there, right? And so, finding ways to meld in with those resources and other organizations to help create a pipeline, right? And another one, a big one is kind of like the one that comes to my mind is like the DoD Skill Bridge program. And so I'm just curious, like for our listeners out there, like if they're kind of pondering, like, well, there's a lot of service members, right? They love hearing, like almost like I got a really good shot at finding employment after this, but at the same time too, it's like, I'm curious, like if you expand on like some of the logistics, like is there a cost associated? Would you take the GI Bill? Are they able to leverage like the Skill Bridge program? Like you mentioned VR&E with the VA, that's an amazing program as well. So what other platforms or programs might be out there that they could possibly leverage to also, get their foot in the door with you all?
Yeah, so I did use, like you mentioned, I used VR&E to go ahead and get my certifications, which was amazing. You can also do post 9/11, but I'm going to go ahead and let Blake talk a little bit more because he's more versed in that. Go ahead, Blake.
Most definitely. No, I appreciate that, Angel, and it's a great question, Keith. But we accept all military benefits at the Ding King Training Institute, which we're really blessed to be able to have that opportunity, and meet the amazing individuals that have come through our school so far. And Keith, off your point of the different avenues and creating awareness about our training programs, and SkillBridge is definitely something we're very interested in getting involved with long term. And like for listeners, and what it really takes is, we try and make the process as simple and fluid as possible. our two veteran specialists at our facility headquartered in California, they get calls every single day from veterans. And these calls can last anywhere from 20 to 20 minutes to 2 hours, really talking through about what they need to do, how to apply the right way. And we try to make the whole process just super fluid and streamlined so that, it really, what they have to focus on is once they get to school, they can feel at home. And really, with our instructors and how skilled they are from a technical standpoint, and with the family feeling that they have around them, that support is so key when you're learning such a specialized trade. And I think the feeling of when you're at training and that you already have a guaranteed job afterwards, that really helps alleviate the stress and really helps in regards to just focusing on the training and getting really good at it. Because as I said, the opportunity is really insurmountable. And with, something I also wanted to touch on, Keith, was that opportunity after. And I think it's key that people understand what that really is. Cause some people hear job opportunities. Well, what is that? Like, what kind of company am I working for? The Dean King Training Institute has partnered with a company called Fleet Reconditioning Services. And Fleet Reconditioning Services is a company that provides essentially the repairs on fleet vehicles such as Amazon, UPS, FedEx. And they provide all the tools and equipment. And really, at the end of the day, all you need is your certifications to be able to do this. And then they go through a full 90-day training period where you're getting paid. Housing is included. It is amazing. And if it's not for you at the end of that, that's okay. But we're seeing amazing results with that, and that's why we've really we really feel good about this opportunity, and it's a very well-paying job with a lot of, I would say, growth opportunities for management, upper management, and the growth is as I said, insurmountable, because it's, if you go look at those Amazon Prime vehicles, with the blue ones that are the Sprinter vans, they're everywhere. Hundreds of thousands of these vehicles, and so it's a special opportunity, and we also Todd and myself are helping the transition through that. Recently this has been launched. So Sean, that's why I didn't get the opportunity to speak with you about all this a couple months ago, because it's fairly new. But for years, we have been trying to find avenues for our students that we feel really confident about right after training. And so we finally found that, and we're proud to be able to represent that here on this podcast. It's the first time that I've come on anything and talked about these programs. So
we're breaking all kinds of news
we're fired
today.
up.
Breaking all
we're fired up.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, gentlemen. The more I talk to you, the more I like this. And my mind doesn't work. Like, my dad was a mechanic for a couple of years, got out of the military and started his own thing, and always had that hands-on mentality. And I didn't inherit that. I'll be honest. Now, YouTube has gone a long way to help me. But it's great to see stuff like this. And like my youngest son, he's more the hands-on type. So I love looking at things like this, saying, you know what, this could be a huge opportunity. And he has my GI Bill, which is, beneficial to him. But unfortunately, we're coming down to time again. I mean, these things go so fast.
Man.
I want to just point out the fact that this, to me, is one of those great opportunities that a lot of people don't know about, right? So we always talk about education, or if you're going to pursue a degree, or how you're going to use your GI Bill. This is one of those things where in a couple very short weeks, you have your certifications. You guys have a job pipeline set up, which is also awesome. Or you can start your own business. And so there's a whole lot of avenues there and a whole lot of training. And it's just phenomenal to me. And it gives you a different option coming out of the transition. So I applaud you for what you guys are doing. Just fantastic. And Angel, I want to thank you because if I remember correctly, you reached out to me to originally make contact, and I
Yes,
love
sir.
hearing stories like this, and to me, the icing on the cake is the family piece. The fact that you guys are so close knit, and that outreach continues after they leave the Ding King. It's not like, you graduate, I got your money, I don't care. You're still bringing people back. They're coming back and helping instruct and whatever else, and it's just amazing. But I'm gonna turn it
Thank
over
you so
to
much
Keith.
for the kind words, Sean. I really appreciate it. And Keith, your time is very valuable, and both of you guys, we appreciate you so much. Really
Thank you,
means
guys.
so much to myself and my family, and I know that when my family watches this, I'm telling you, they're going to be in tears. They're going to be really thankful for the opportunity. Thank you. Seriously.
It's absolutely our pleasure. You guys, this is an amazing program. I mean, I help a lot of service. I'm a veterans program manager for a federal agency, but I help a lot of transitioning service members as they're coming out. And this is absolutely something I'm adding into my little bag of tips and tricks and tools to pull from to help folks out. This is an amazing program. So with that said, for myself and everybody else out there listening, so those folks that are interested, how do they get a hold of you? How do they get involved in this program?
So they'd be
I'll
able to
leave that to Angel.
they'd be able to contact me, Angel Lotti, Lotti. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran on LinkedIn, or they can give me a call, 714-790-9878. Send me a call, send me a text. We'll talk shop. Either way, I'm a veteran just like you guys. I'm not afraid to answer the phone or talk to veterans. So go ahead and give me a call.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, and appreciate having you guys on. You guys taking the time as well to your days to be a part of this and do this with us. So, as always, no, it's awesome. So, as always, on the behalf of the VET S.O.S family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Please make sure that you follow and subscribe to us on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. And as always, remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S Lifeline.